Oh yeah. All right, so we got another good one to go over here, guys, and I'll tell you what, I ended up cracking aces in this, so you're definitely going to want to see that, but we got some other good stuff that's going to come before that. Also going to say this one time, if you guys have been watching the vids here quite a bit, we do have an awesome community in the pinned comment. You can talk to me one-on-one as well as with my high-level members. Now, I can kind of give you some more insight into how I approach all this because, I'm always playing. And I can kind of just give you a little bit more than I can here, especially for like how many hands to play per month, etc. And, if you want to take the game a little bit more seriously, if you don't, that's all good. But if you are trying to take it maybe a little bit more seriously, hop in it. Also, you guys could tap the like, man, and let's get right into this. And I'm also going to talk about some tips for, dominating these anonymous tables because it is a little bit different, right? And, for me, the way I approach this is that, I just try to make good decisions when I'm playing, right? After you sit at a table for like maybe 25 to 30 minutes, you kind of have an idea of how people are playing. You start to notice like, hey, is this guy playing a little bit tight, maybe a little bit loose, or then you got some hyper aggressive players. You kind of adjust that way. I think that's kind of the main point here is you kind of adjust to the table. It takes a little bit of time to see how the table's playing. A lot of the time, you don't really need to get fancy either, especially when you've just been sitting down for like less than 30 minutes. It's kind of just like a tight, aggressive, normal approach. And then you kind of open up as you've been sitting with the same players for a while. Other than that, the nice thing about anonymous games is that no one can track you, but you also can't track other players, which is kind of like why it really just comes down to focusing and making good decisions, right? And I actually kind of prefer that you can't track anybody. Everyone's got a number as opposed to a screen name. So, yeah, it is what it is. But I've had a pretty easy time figuring these games out, and I've been playing long enough with anonymous tables that it is what it is, man. You could definitely win in these games. All right, anyways, pocket queens. I was kind of just like, let's just do this, man. Let's just do this. This is also going to run for about, I want to say like maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So, like I always say, grab a bottle of water, Gatorade, or some coffee, man, and kind of just sit back because, we've got some spots to go over here. Folded the 6-10 suited. I did want to play it, First to act, though. If we were on the button, I would have played that 6-10 right there, but we let it go. Reluctantly, The big 6-10. All right, so we wouldn't have flopped anything anyways. Yeah, but seriously, 7-10, 8-10, obviously those hands are much better as far as like flopping straights and whatever, especially suited. You get some of those flushes in there, but yeah, the 6-10, I was kind of just kidding. Anyways, all right, Queen 7 suited. We're seeing some suited stuff so far, which is kind of nice. All right, so this is a pretty easy defend. Obviously, we know player 5's probably got a really good hand. He opened first to act. We did pair the queen, but I'm still going to play this cautiously because you just never know. He's going to go pretty small on the continuation. Pretty easy call for us. All right, diamond on the turn. I'm hoping this guy just checks it over. We also have a straight draw now with the 7 for a 6. The question is, what do we do here? This is a tough one. It definitely feels like he's got a strong hand. So I let it go. Let's see what that river would have been. A king. Yeah, you know what? I think it was probably a good fold. It felt like he was strong. He opened first, so, we could put him on ace queen, king queen, aces, kings. I mean, are all possible right there. So I think it was a good fold, even though we did have the straight draw to go with it. We didn't get there anyways, so it didn't really matter. All right, ace 3 off. Really nothing here. I think this is probably just a pretty easy fold, honestly. All right, just a little fold right there, you know what I'm saying? But don't go anywhere, guys. We're still just kind of warming up here. All right, Jack 6 suited. Let's see if I opened with this. I think I wanted to. All right, no, player 1 open, so I just let this go. All right, 8-4 offsuit, pretty easy fold. All right, player 1 doing like a little bit of a min raise thing right there. We would have had a straight draw to the 6, pick up sticks. I had to say it one time. Ooh, we got a raise here, man. Check that out. All right, the raise to 84 looks strong. Maybe a set, maybe straight draw with flush draw, possible. Okay, flush got there on the turn. All right, queen 9 off. I think I'm just going to fold this one. All right, so yeah, I mean, I'm playing pretty tight for the most part, but it's going to get interesting. So don't go anywhere, guys. Still just kind of warming up here, and we got this situation with cracking aces that was kind of ridiculous. And, you know, like I said, man, if you guys are enjoying this stuff and you just want to maybe take it more seriously, definitely hop in our community, pin comment. You know what I'm saying? All right, so our queen 9 would have missed here. Now, if it was suited, then yeah, for sure, man. I'm definitely going to play this, but not suited. All right, so check this out, man. Ace deuce suited. Now, I always say this, man. I'm always going to play like an ace X suited. And, you know, the ace 2. We got the clubs. Let's make it happen, you know? Now, if we get re-raise here, I'm still making this call. I'm not going to fold. But I think that... okay, player 6 is going to kick it up to the 60 piece. I'm going to call pretty quick here. Terrible flop. Question is, do we just want to give up here? That's the thing. And, you know, check this out. Check this play I made out, man. I think this was kind of interesting. So he's going to put out something small here. Now, I'm expecting him to put something out no matter what, right? Even if he doesn't like the hearts here. And instead of me just folding, check out what I decided to do instead. I'm actually going to go for a min here. Which I think looks really strong. And anyways, he folded it, so our bluff worked out right there. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one because I thought it was a good play. All right, next hand, 6-8 offsuit, folded it, and just recapping on some of the hands so far. Yeah, but I think I played pretty good so far, you know, putting in some bluffs and just kind of playing aggressive for the most part. Keeping it simple. 3-10 suited, not quite the Doyle. If we had the 2-10 here, maybe I play it. Might have played this anyways. All right, so yeah, anyways, I just folded the 3-10, you know, folded it. Here we go with pocket queens. Now, I hope you guys have stuck with me because, you know, we're kind of getting to that big moment of this one, but pocket queens, I think we had it a little bit earlier, didn't we? Gonna just do a quick open raise here, and we're gonna get re-raised in this spot. Couple things, guys. When you've got pocket queens, you could play it a couple different ways. You could just call a re-raise, or you can come over the top. Based on our position being in the button, I just decided to play this more aggressive. You know, for example, player 1's gonna kick it up here, I think to maybe like the 50 or 60 piece. Let's see. And there's a couple ways you could do this, right? Call the raise, do just a re-raise, or come over the top. He went to the 55 piece. I just came over the top. I figure we're more likely ahead right here, so that's kind of why I did it. Plus, I'd been paying attention how player one was playing this entire time, and to me, it seemed like he was kind of opening a little bit more, so that was another, kind of like factor in my decision of just coming over the top here. And he's actually going to let this one go pretty quickly, I believe. Not really much to think about here. So he was probably just doing this with like a mediocre hand, trying to take the blinds down or something. And, didn't work out for him, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Okay, and here we go with 6-7 suited. So you guys are not going to believe this one, okay? You are not going to believe this. All right, so I'm just going to open raise here. If we get re-raised, totally fine with it. I kind of prefer building a pot with a suited connectors like this anyways, especially like being this deep. So we're just going to go with the 1250 piece, and I think it's going to come back over to player one again, I'm pretty sure. Now, if he's going to re-raise us again this time, I feel like he's probably got a good hand this time. Like the hand before, he was probably just trying to take down the blinds or something. But this time it feels like maybe he does have something. So I'm going to be cautious of that, but I'm also just not going to let this go, right? I'm going to make this call. Okay, and he did the same sizing, so I'm going to just call him down here, 55 piece. Not really going to think about it too long. But get ready for this flop, y'all. I mean, look at that. Trip sevens. I think, too, like, this is such a bad spot for player one. Because if he's got ace-king, he's going to continue bluffing here, and I'm just going to call. I'm going to play this slow. If he's got pocket aces or pocket kings, I mean, he's drawn really slim here. I mean, the only situation where he has is his pocket queens, but can we really put him on that? I don't think so. So I'm just going to do what I'm going to do here. All right, so I just called. There is a flush draw out there as well. But none of it got there on the turn. So the turn's a 10. Not really worried about pocket tens. And this is all I'm going to say, guys. We are going to get max value on this. And I'll tell you what. I hope you guys enjoyed this entire session. If you have enjoyed it, obviously check out the pinned comment. Get in that community. Tap the like. And let's continue running it.